the show, so get rocking up. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you.
Hello there, so today I've been asked to be the resident expert, as it were, on Crystal Palace. And well, let me start off by saying that Crystal Palace, as you probably may know, haven't been the best side in FPL terms over the past few seasons. There have been a few players who have kind of shone out. The likes of Wilfried Zaha has had his moment, Mitchell has had his moments, Kelly has had his moments as well. So today I'm going to be discussing, trying to convince you that some Palace players may not be completely useless for FPL. There may actually be a couple of good players for this season. So I think, as I said there, I'm going to start off with the main man in the midfield, and that is Wilfried Zaha. Now, he actually ended up getting his highest scoring season in the Premier League last season. Now, obviously, to mention with Zaha, you know, he may end up getting a transfer away. He has put in a transfer request for Crystal Palace, so it's not 100% that he is going to be here at the start of next season. But if he is, he has actually got a price decrease from 7.5 to 7 million. Now, we take a look at Crystal Palace's fixtures here, and obviously at the start of the season, it isn't looking the best. Really, you probably don't want to have them for the first 5 fixtures. However, once you hit the wild card, maybe down to about game week 9-ish, then they probably come into a bit more of a consideration. Obviously, new manager Patrick Vieira, it sounds as though they're going to play a much more attacking football and even pressing football as well. So we could see Crystal Palace players actually attacking wise become a lot more valuable. However, defensively, that may not bode too well. Now I'm going to fill in a couple of the defenders here who I think could actually be decent this season. So Mitchell, obviously at 4 mil last season. Quite a lot of people did have him as that dud option and did at times pick up points. Now, Tompkins is a player that I actually do quite like coming into this season. He wasn't priced at 5 mil last season and in seasons before, and there's a reason behind that, because when he is playing in that Crystal Palace side, he makes the side so much more defensively kind of good. He just makes the side so much more defensively solid, is basically what I'm saying. He also does like to get a few attacking returns as well, picking up a couple of goals. So obviously there's a reason he's been priced at 5 million, and getting that drop down to 4.5 million, he actually could provide some decent value for this season. Kouyate was the really solid man at the back last season for Crystal Palace. Obviously a little bit flimsy at times. He was classed as a midfielder, so didn't get as many points. Had he been classed as a defender, we may see him being priced, or we may have seen him being priced at 5 million this year, you know, just because he wasn't actually picking up the points as a defender last year, and he still managed to pick up 82 points, which is the same as some defenders at the same kind of price bracket managed to pick up. So once he starts getting the defensive points, maybe we see Kouyate kind of become more worth it in terms of value. Now, as I say, Crystal Palace, now under Patrick Vieira, aren't going to play as defensive football, so they could leak a few more goals. And the fixture-wise, you probably don't want to have them the first 5 game weeks. The only player I'd probably consider having for the first 5 game weeks would be Vicente Guaita. Now, I think he is the best Crystal Palace asset for this season. He looks really, really good, basically. He was 5 mil like Tompkins last season and has been in seasons before. And there's a reason for that, because when Crystal Palace were keeping clean sheets, he was getting the bonus points, he was getting the save points, and last year he was still getting the save points and the bonus points. We just weren't keeping as many clean sheets, basically, and I think he could be one of the standout options for Crystal Palace this season, if not the best option. Obviously, there are still kind of a fair few transfers and moves to be made in the transfer market for Crystal Palace. I see Ryan Christie has been kind of linked with Crystal Palace. Elise as well, this kid from Reading, could be a decent little option as well. We need replacements for Eze, and obviously with Eze, it looks like he's injured until about December, January, so it's going to be quite a while until we see him, so we're going to need to get some new players in. Then finally, looking at the attackers for Crystal Palace, we have Benteke, we have Ayew, and we have Mateta. And obviously Benteke picked up a little bit of form towards the back end of last season, but with the other options we have in the attack, 6.5 million, you can get yourself an Ivan Toney, who I do think will be a better option than Benteke. However, Mateta, for me, I think is someone to watch out for, coming in at 5.5 million. Obviously, didn't get much time under Roy Hodgson, but could he be the kind of striker that Patrick Vieira kind of goes to and looks towards playing? Mateta is French, so something as simple as that could create a relationship between him and Vieira, and he could see him getting... And we could see him getting quite a bit more playtime under Vieira. If he starts scoring goals, definitely one to look out for at 5.5 million. And he will personally be going straight into my team. In terms of the rest of the midfield, I really don't think there's anyone really to kind of even make an argument for. You know, Milivojevic, the man on penalties. A few seasons ago, people may have looked to kind of bring him in their team. But I do think now with the way that he's been playing, he probably won't even get as much game time as he has in previous seasons. So yeah, this is kind of, you know, how Palace are looking. The main options for what I'd say for Crystal Palace. Obviously, as a roundup, if I was going to give a top three, I'd probably go third, I'd go Tompkins. Then second, probably Zaha. And first, Vincente Guaita. Absolute baller. Going to make plenty of saves and hopefully save Palace from getting relegated this season.
So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving